Welcome back, Bertini fam, and for those of you guys who are new to my channel, my name is Michael Bertini, and in today's episode I'm going to be showing you guys how to do an oil change on a 2020 Street Glide Special, although this can be applied to any Harley-Davidson with a Milwaukee 8 motor in it. The good news is that everything that I'm going to be using in today's video is relatively cheap and can be purchased in the links that I'm going to place in the description box below. And if you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button now. This so you can get in on all of my weekly cash giveaways and stay up to date with all of the new content that I put out. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Now, this oil change kit specifically can work with a ton of different Harley-Davidsons. So as you can see here in this list, there's quite a bit of Harley-Davidsons that this will work with. Like I said, this is going to fit pretty much any Harley-Davidson with a Milwaukee 8 motor in it. But it also is going to work with a few other models that don't have the Milwaukee 8 motor in it. Now, Amsoil is not the only oil I've ever run. I also run Motul. That's also a really great oil, so whatever you can get your hands on. Amsoil is great, so I do highly recommend using it, but if you can't get a hold of this kit, this is a really simple kit. If you can't get a hold of this kit and you need to piece together another kit, I also recommend Motul oil is really good. I've used that in sports bikes. I've used it in other Harleys. They make some great oil, especially for performance builds like mine. Okay, so the first thing that we're gonna do here is jack up the bike. Next, we're gonna wanna unscrew the dipstick. Just leave it like that. Okay, now this is the drain plug that you're going to wanna remove. Make sure you don't unscrew anything else. Just this one. And what you're gonna wanna use is a 5/8 driver. That fits perfectly onto here, okay? Now it's very important, once again, this is the only one that you loosen up. Now I typically loosen this up a bit and then I put my drain catch under this and then I finish unscrewing it. So I'll go ahead and do that now and let all the old oil drain out. Now, one thing I'd recommend you doing is looking at your drain plug and seeing if you have any metal shavings on there, and it doesn't look like I have any. Keep in mind, we are gonna place this O-ring down here with a brand new one that came in the Amsoil kit. Like I said, every time you do an oil change, this is something that you should do. I highly recommend it, is always changing out this O-ring. Now, I just wanna quickly show you everything that comes in the kit. So you get your 5 quarts of your synthetic 20W50, and then you get your oil filter. Okay, one thing to note, if you're like, well, where the hell is that O-ring that they promised me in the box? It's very important that you find it right here on the inside. So this is where it's gonna be sitting, in case you're like, where the hell did that O-ring go? This is where it's at, okay? I'm gonna use a little bit of brake cleaner, clean this off really quick, and then we'll go ahead and get the new O-ring on here and then get this back onto the bike. Okay, now what we're gonna need to do is torque down the bolt to what I recommend would be to 17 foot-pounds. So if you only have an inch-pounds torque wrench, that is going to be 204 inch-pounds equals out to 17 foot-pounds. Now the manual calls from anything, I believe it's from like 14 to 21 foot-pounds, I think it is. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that's what it is. I'm gonna put it at 17 foot-pounds, given that this is a high-performance motor and a lot of vibrations come from it. I don't want that that oil plug to come undone. I doubt it's going to, but either way, I'd rather be safe than sorry. Okay, now with the funnel that we got off of Amazon, we're gonna go ahead and place this bad boy under this filter just to catch any oil that's gonna come out of this thing, and so it doesn't land all over the motor, that it lands right over this piece. And then it also includes a silicone tube, which you can place into the bottom of this piece right here, which can then, after you do that, will funnel all this back down to our oil catch can. So it should look something like this. Also included in the Amazon kit that I'm gonna put a link in the description box below is this oil filter tool. It's like an oil filter wrench, I guess you can call it. You put it on an extension and then you just clamp it around the filter, and all you have to do is unscrew it. So as you see, there wasn't a bunch of oil that came out, but nonetheless, it didn't leak all over the motor like I didn't want it to, which is great. So now let's go ahead and pull this out. Just get this out of the way. And everything looks great in there. Everything looks super clean. Typically, if this is really messy, you can use some brake parts cleaner and just blow it out really quick. Make sure obviously you're wearing eye protection before you do that, and don't spray directly into it because you don't want that crap to get all over the place or even back into your eyes. That will make for a painful ass weekend. Now, to prep the new filter, all you do is put in some of the oil. I'm obviously going to be using the oil that it came with, so some of this will go into here just to prep it. I'm not going to put a bunch. I don't want it to get too crazy in there. It's just so it doesn't start, it doesn't start up dry. And then what I'll do from here is I'm going to lubricate around the seal. So I'll use the exact same oil that I poured in here to just lubricate around the seal. Okay, now let's go ahead and get it back on there. Okay, now the Milwaukee motors take about 4.5 quarts. So we'll go ahead and start with the quart that we started when we primed the oil filter. Now, one thing to call out before I go ahead and start the bike up to make sure that we're checking it when it's hot is that on these dipsticks, you have when the bike it's on the kickstand or jiffy stand, and then you have the ability to check it when the bike is upright like it is right now. So we're gonna be checking it while it's upright. So I'm gonna go ahead and open the garage, then turn on the bike, and then I'll check it after I warm it up a little bit. Now, before we check the oil on this, as you see, I just warmed up the bike a bit. You need to make sure that if you're doing this in your garage, like I am, that you have a big ass fan and your garage door is open. This way you're venting all of the fumes that are coming out of your exhaust outside to the outside of your garage, right? That you're not doing this in a closed garage. And even if your garage door is open, you make sure that you have a fan that is blowing a massive amount of air. This way you're not breathing in any of those toxic fumes that are coming out of your bike. With that being said, let's go ahead and check our oil levels. Yeah, it looks like we're a little bit low. So we'll go ahead and add a little bit more in there. That's all I have for you guys today. Once again, if you're not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you click that subscribe button now. This way you can get in on all my weekly cash giveaways. And of course, stay up to date with all of my new content. And remember, make sure you guys are putting good energy out there into the world and paying it forward. I'll check you guys out later. Bye now.